Okay, this catch is called clean. Great move by Teddy. I'm gonna back it up and show a couple really instructive things that Teddy did here. Okay, coming up, level changes. Now, if there's a secret that comes to mind when I talk about level changes, it's Tyler Beckman, hands down. You can always see Tyler Beckman. If you ever watch one of his films, it almost looks like he's constantly doing like mini squats, and you can never tell where his shoulders are going to end up. That's just to get a better angle of where to dive for the snitch, and it's really impressive. Teddy in a second is actually about after this first grappling exchange where he goes to the ground and then gets back up. He fakes with his right arm, goes over my left arm, which looks like on a first dive, and especially beginner seekers, they're just going to go and try and complete that dive and go around to the right side. Teddy takes it a step further and misses with the right intentionally, takes a step forward with his left foot, and then proceeds to jump vault over my back to pull on the left-hand side. This is a very advanced seeker move, and at the end of this clip, Teddy actually says, "Good game, I got super lucky." Nah, man, great move, props, you deserve it. From my point, I should have done something a little different here. Highlight that in a second, but great job, Teddy. Good catch. And this also brings me to one other point. Even though I consider myself a really good snitch, in my opinion, one of the best in the country, don't be too prideful to call a catch good. Please don't do that under any circumstance. If a catch is good, I don't care if it was caught in 5 seconds. I don't care if it took 5 minutes. I don't care if it took 5 hours. Realistically, with set score, it will never take 5 hours. But the point still stands. If a catch is called good, it's good. Never call a catch off because of pride. Nobody is too good to get caught in a couple seconds. It happens to the best of us. Call it good. Shake somebody's hand. Move on. Talk later. Just a big thing. I hate if a snitch does that. Look, you have no business being a snitch. Period. If you call catches off because they caught you too quick, screw you. I never want to see you snitch another game. And I don't think that's too aggressive a statement. 100% serious, and I will back that up. That first one, like I said, the wrestling down here, you can actually see the back of my hat is me moving to figure out where the other seeker is. Again, doesn't end up becoming relevant. Teddy also right on the ground. Man is so quick. A lot of times people praise his quaffle game because he's a good chaser. I haven't seen Teddy seek a ton, but that quickness adds up, man. He falls to the ground. He immediately rolls over. Doesn't let me really grapple here. I have a hand on the top of his shoulder. I'm about to take a step back. You see me turn my head again to look for another seeker. Don't see it. I miss this hand. Teddy's right arm swims over, which, like I said, a lot of like seekers would swim this over, come under, and try and grab on a dive just straight to the right hand side. Teddy takes it a step further. He's going to do that. Take the look. You can also see his focus. The tail's already moved that way for him, and this is game over before this is pulled. I can already tell. I already push him that way. I spin that way. This is a difference between a high-level seeker and a regular seeker, is you have those fakes. Beginning seekers, they don't have them. And if they do, I'm very impressed right out the gate. But that is a big difference right there. Great job, Teddy. And again, always call catches good if they're good. This ref meeting does take a little bit, and the reason why is, and I'll show it in another film. Not there. Okay, right here. Now, Teddy actually doesn't even get this arm all the way around to vault this. This is because of his quickness of taking a step forward and launching himself the other way. There are times where a seeker will wrap one arm around here, kind of pull you in, and then vault themselves to the other side. That is impediment in most cases. That is what my question was. The ref meeting here actually is me asking Ethan. I say, hey, Ethan, I lean on the side of clean here. I just want to check, did you see something here of me getting pulled? I didn't feel it a ton, so I err on the side of clean, but I wanted to just double check. In reviewing the film, he didn't even get his hand there. So like I said, I err on the side of clean. It was a ref meeting. We just discussed it real quick and we called it good. Again, props to Teddy. Great catch. Okay, before this, just so you guys know, when you leave your back exposed, I'll tend to move there and grab wrists, kind of give you a little bit of a hug, wait for a beater to come over, and then I just give like a little push. That's more to let them know they were beat, because sometimes in the moment you can't tell. So I just tell the person, you know, beat orange, light push, and now I have one-on-one time with Ian. I think this is the engagement. Okay. Right there, Ian's trying to go around. I have an elbow and Ian goes high. He ends up getting pushed down. But notice how like little, like as much as Ian gets pushed to the ground there, that's not like excessive force. Like Ian falls casually there. I'm not extending. I'm not doing anything aggressive. Like safety first, guys. So just be smart. Don't don't not make moves, but also don't do anything dangerous. Right there, you can see I have my arms engaged with Ian. I'm looking up where the other seeker is, and I'm already starting to like pivot my feet and hips around. So I'm constantly keeping both in frame. Okay, right here, this is the watch the pull, back the hoops, because he kept doing it. Ian's arm is right here. So I'm saying watch the pull, watch the pull. I'm trying to let him know like this is gonna get called no good. If he pulls me in and goes this way, which I know is one of Ian's moves, I'm gonna call it no good for impediment because he's physically pulling me in this way, which also gives him the leverage to jump that way. This is what I was questioning if it had happened in the Teddy game. It did not, and we called it properly. Here, I'm telling Ian, watch the pull, because if he disengages and then gets the pull, great, good for him. But he's not disengaging here, so in a second, I send him back to hoops. You hear me say back to hoops, and I go focus on this one. Ian goes for it anyways. Now, two comments here. One, Ian was sent back to hoops. I don't think he intentionally ignored me. If he did, it's kind of a clever move because I don't think you're really getting called for ignoring a back to hoops call. But you also just bought your team a minimum of, what, 5 seconds? 2 for me to put on the tail and 3 for the countdown, that you don't have to worry about this one-on-one situation. Again, I don't think that's Ian's intentions here, but if it is, good for you. Um, I I trust Ian. I don't believe that's his intentions, but again, I would never know that for sure. I'm gonna skip to the end of the game here, where I can show what I was talking about the lower level teams approaching from different sides. Um, okay, right here, they're still approaching from the same side. We're all good. You can see me constantly pivoting. I have an arm, I have a wrist. Orange went to the other side, and this is what I'm talking about spins, just pushing your hips forward. Whatever you got to do, it's not going to last long here, especially if they're coming from different sides. They're coming from different sides, so I got to hit a spin move. Another spin, this one. Another spin, this one. The tail just goes flying. About to get one more spin, and I'm pretty sure one of them catches. I think it's UVA. Okay. Again, these two seekers, if they're okay with this coin flip, not doing anything wrong. But like I said, I'm going to have to hit a spin move here, and one of them is going to get a pull. It's that simple. It's not, Snitch isn't good enough to get out of this situation. It's just, if you split the field of my ability. Like my arms only go so far to each side, and I can't hold you back forever. So right there, you see I try to step forward. Like this is literally the worst situation to be in as a snitch. Oh, another drop, but it ends up being the same thing. If they're not okay with this coin flip, you want to be shoulder to shoulder. I'll show a very brief clip of that in a second from an MLQ game with Warriors and Aviator, or not Warriors, sorry, Whiteout and Aviators. Again, clean catch, nothing wrong. It's just it's an unfortunate situation for a snitch to be in. Any snitch in that situation gets caught eventually on one of those spin moves. But notice how I still stay on midline, and I'm still just trying to spin out of it. And if one seeker gets too close, I do kind of engage them with the arms. But good job, both teams. Looking forward to see how they do at regionals. I'm not sure if Jefferson's Army will be attending regionals, as I think they're unofficial, but excited to see how GMU improves over the rest of the season. This is a MLQ game from the summer. This is one of my first games back for the year period. This was the first series of the summer, Super Series, and down in New York City. This is Kit and Ryan Davis. Kit, I believe, has graduated from BU and now plays in the Rochester area, or is living in the Rochester area. Ryan, been on the club teams in that South region for a while, is on Charlotte here. Just a great seeker all around. Both of them are definitely great seekers. Again, a little out of practice here for myself. I start a little too close to the boundary and then get pushed right away. Not going to do a whole review here as I just did a bunch, but I believe it's around here. Right here. Right here, I'm about to have the 2-on-1 where I come around this way. Again, this is newer in my summer again, so a little out of practice. I am a little too far out this way. I think that was caused by Trey's grappling, so we'll back up a second to show that interaction. Okay, so I'm grappling with Trey. Move over to watch Kit. Okay, you can't really see my head as much here, but you can see I have a frame on Trey. I'm constantly looking over at Kit. Now I'm just going a little too far. In reality, there's nothing inherently too wrong with this because of where Kit is located, but I should definitely be doing my best to kind of push back on Trey here and not just let Trey get their way of pushing me deeper this way. This is the 2-on-1 that is more ideal. They're practically shoulder to shoulder. I stick an arm on both outside arms, stick my head down, and just push, backpedal, and pray. Get through that one just fine, and then it's going to quickly become a 1-on-1 again, as Trey is now off broom. But yeah, that's the difference between higher level games where you're not looking for the coin flip of 2-on-1 where you're shoulder to shoulder, so it's really like you're going against one person, or if you're okay with the coin flip, kind of just approach from opposite sides. I want to highlight the end of this film with Trey. Look how low Trey is getting. Trey is that low because Trey knows if I stand up to look for Kit at all, it's game over. Trey's just going to make that dive. Also throws Trey a little off balance. I could be a little bit harsher here and kind of push on the top of Trey's shoulders down into the ground. Um, Again, my arms are there more to monitor and less to push. It's more to see where Trey is going. I think this is Mama Presley in the background. I'm not 100% positive, but we'll watch the rest of this interaction. Before we do, I want to say, always a big preacher of safety. Safety comes first. Don't be grabbing people's necks. Be careful. With that being said, the level of how low Trey is, it looks a lot worse than it is. My one arm, my left arm in particular, is framed on their far shoulder. Um, Orientation, I believe that's Trey's right shoulder. Um, and from there, Trey is continuing to move down. I'm not grabbing Trey's hair like it's stated on the film. I'm not grabbing Trey's neck. My arm is strictly on their shoulder. I would never pull somebody's hair. If I do, it'll be the day I quit Quidditch because that's just wrong. You just don't do that. Okay, right here, you see my head kind of rest on the top of Trey. It's not really resting. It's also more like it's another spot for me to monitor. It's another touch point I have on Trey, and my other arm here is kind of closing that arm there, so it's not just going to go around. These are all intentional things. It's not just Trey's low, let's see what I can do. These are all things that I'm doing because of the way Trey's reacting. Okay, right here, this is one great move by Trey. I'm not taking anything away from Trey here. Right here, I see Cody coming. As a snitch, I do have to monitor that, so I look up briefly. You can see now I'm on the heel of my foot, and I'm backing up, and I'm not as far down. This is what I'm talking about, Trey's level change here. Trey is already low enough, and at this point, it is already too late. This is not a 2 seconds from now when Trey makes the catch. This is right here. This is Trey's opportunity, and they take it. 100% clean. Call it good. You actually see me do a thumbs up here. Although, yes, in most cases, the snitch knows instantly if a catch is good or not. This is a bad habit to do where you just look up and throw a thumbs up or a thumbs down, unless it is that clear of a thumbs down where you're just going to call it off and not even have a ref meeting so you can get play moving. Wait to show any symbols. Don't indicate if it's good, bad, or otherwise. Just pull yourself off to the side, away from the players, have the meeting, make the calls. I think this is where I'm going to end the clip shortly. I just want to go pull Smutty's film for that one wrist move I was talking about with Ryan David.